Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another Transformers video here today, and we've got some actually pretty damn cool reveals here where we have character profiles for both the Maximals and the Terrorcons here to look at today. So I'm going to be breaking down the Maximals first, and then we'll be taking a look at the Terrorcons. First off, we have, of course, Mr. Primal himself, leader of the Maximals, a heroic beast faction of the bots. He is stomping around in the jungles of Machu Picchu, 13 foot tall. Okay, so that's honestly not as tall as I thought it was going to be, but that's probably the more hunched over version. 13 foot tall, metallic silverback with fists the size of boulders. Primal's wise green eyes have seen much sacrifice and reflect his gentle nature, but underneath there lies a storm of fury ready to be unleashed wherever it's needed. So, perhaps tread carefully. Ultimate purpose, living on Earth disguised as beasts, Primal and the Maximals are ever vigilant, watchful for the return of an evil they have battled across galaxies for eons. Is that a hint at the time travel? Who knows? But combat abilities, when he converts into the Thundering Beast mode, his immensity is truly something to behold. A roar from Primal is enough to stop enemies in their tracks, for a pound from his gigantic fists makes even the ground quake in fear. And then the trivia, I'm not going to be covering. I'm just going to be covering the profiles, but if you want to check that out, go for it. Then we switch over to Cheetor, who is a Maximal warrior, at home in the jungle, but a fond of vast desert plain to race across. So, of course, like a cheetah, he loves running. Converts into a cheetah, obviously, the size of a small truck, with a grace and athleticism that belies his bulk. General demeanor. Cheetor carries himself with the confidence of someone who knows danger can never catch him, which is pretty much what happens when you mix the fastest animal on Earth with a massive extraterrestrial Cybertronian. So that's pretty cool. I like it. He seems like he's going to be pretty cocky in the movie, which is cool. It's going to be a nice personality trait for him. Ultimate purpose, though, like all Maximals, Cheetor has played a key role in protecting the universe from its greatest threat in a legendary battle that still rages. Combat abilities. Supersonic blur. Cheetor is the swiftest of all the Transformers beasts. His sheer speed combined with his colossal claws means he can strike down his enemies before they've even seen him coming. So, another cool one there. We're moving on to Airazor. Airazor is the Maximal scout. Airazor doesn't stomp, she soars. The sky is her domain. She converts into a Pregreen falcon with a jaw-dropping wingspan and deadly poison power. Unafraid to operate alone and prepared to fly without backup into the face of certain danger, Airazor is a brave, dignified warrior whose sharp eyesight and awesome ordnance is a steady comfort to her fellow Maximals on the ground. A vigilant protector of both her team and her allies, the Maximals' aerial reconnaissance expert has always acted as the first line of defense, whatever foe may come knocking. So, just want to add in here, it does say her allies as well as her team. So, this is making me think even more. And it says she's the first one to go into combat. I'm thinking that she's going to get taken out defending Bumblebee or one of the other bots, which is going to be sad, but we definitely need to have some loss in this movie here. Ultimate purpose, combat abilities. Her Falcon Beast mode gives Airazor astonishing attack capabilities in tandem with her high-flying prowess, like being able to rain down destructive fire from her mighty beak. Okay, so maybe that was her in the trailer we saw when she was shooting in at the scene at the museum. But moving on to our final Maximal, we have RHINOX, of course, who is a Maximal warrior. Let's face it, wherever you find RHINOX, he'll be stomping. An enormous metallic rhino, 8,000 pounds of sheer force. Off the battlefield, RHINOX is perceptive, sharp, and considered. Okay, cool. So they're keeping his character traits from other beasts iterations, of course, where RHINOX is like the big tank, but he's also extremely smart. Where was I? On it, off the battlefield, he's yada yada. On it, he's a battering ram on legs. Best advice in that scenario: get out of his way fast. Fiercely loyal and constantly wary of those who would do the Maximals harm. Again, very similar to specifically the Netflix version, whether they be from either past or the future. Okay, now, I mean, come on. We're going to have the connection. This is just adding in even more into the theory videos I've been making. The past and the future, they're emphasizing way too much on that. But RHINOX is prepared to put it all on the line for the Maximals' cause, to preserve life across the galaxy no matter the cost. Defined by his staggering strength and peerless physicality, once RHINOX gets going, he is impossible to stop. This Maximal doesn't just neutralize threats, he demolishes them. And that is what we have for our maximal cast. Now we turn to what I think is even more interesting, because obviously we could have implied a lot of that stuff just knowing the Maximals in general, but we don't really know at all where they're going to take the spin-on from these Terrorcons, because obviously this isn't the original G1 Terrorcons, like not the same iteration, not the same characters, yada yada, but we'll see what they have here. So starting off with Scourge, Terrorcon leader and the most fearsome hunter in the universe. You have been warned. Okay, not nice and brief. The Terrorcons are hatched straight out of your worst nightmares, and Scourge is them at their most savage. A monstrous-looking 1994 Peterbilt 359 with 4 exhausts, belching black smoke into the air, and a horrifying maw-like front grille. So that's his vehicle mode. His general demeanor is ruthless, cunning, and treacherous. Scourge is cruel and incredibly powerful player that should be avoided at any cost. His ultimate purpose is Scourge commands the Terrorcons on a mission of destruction they have carried out for thousands of years across thousands of worlds, leaving nothing but chaos in their wake. A terrifying collection of mismatched body parts, Scourge is fierce, ferocious, and the worst of all, patient, the ultimate Autobot hunting machine. His giant electric claw and devastating blade spells almost certain doom for anyone unlucky enough to become his next target. Okay, so here we go with some trivia, though. Maybe I should have been reading these trivia, but helping him in his relentless pursuit, Scourge keeps a collection of 6-legged Terrorcon freezers, mechanical insectoids that he can send out to sniff his prey. So there we go. Freezer is not an individual character. Freezer is just like the name for his like mini bots. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything from the other ones, now that I know the trivia is not just like a nonsensical question. Okay, yada yada. Optimus Primals is that he just likes giving speeches like Prime. Cheetor's is his pace. And okay, so his pace is his greatest weapon, but can also be a weakness. Always quick to act. Sometimes he doesn't think things through. Okay, I should have added these in earlier, but I'm rereading them now. Air Razor, elegant and distinguished. Air Razor is perhaps the most sophisticated Maximal there is, but don't let that fool you. She's got a great sense of humor, so dry it could burn you just as bad as her flames. And then RHINOX is, in addition to RHINOX's intimidating smarts and strength, his armory also includes an enormous Gatling gun in case of emergencies, and that is going to be real cool to see. So, moving on to the next Terrorcon slash Decepticon, however you want to classify Unicron, it is Unicron, the deity. Designation, Devourer of Planets. Threat level, to repeat, Unicron eats worlds, and he's always hungry. Unicron uses the energy of the ecosystem he's ingested to become the most omnipotent force in the multiverse. He's not exactly a force for good either. So it doesn't tell you what he's converting into, so I guess they're really hiding the whole robot mode transformation in this. But general demeanor, as the embodiment of evil, it's fair to say Unicron isn't the most understanding of leaders. As the Terrorcons discover, if you fail him in any task, he will pay a harrowing price. Ultimate purpose, Unicron's primary function is to bring chaos and ruin. Sending Scourge and his team of Terrorcons on a mission to retrieve a key that will open a portal in space and time is merely the start of his abhorrent plans. Okay, well there you go. There you go. Confirmation that there is time travel. He's trying to open a portal in space and time. I mean, okay. Combat abilities. Unicron is a deity so large that it can consume entire other worlds and all life on them. Trivia, as well as having a cosmic hunger, Unicron is also partial to possessing his victims to serve his very nefarious needs. Okay, I mean, we just got 2 giant bombs in the Unicron passage itself. He's trying to open a space portal, or a space bridge of some sorts, a time-traveling space bridge, and he also is able to possess his victims. So the idea that Scourge is a possessed, reformatted bayverse Prime that is now time travel into this universe doesn't seem too much more far-fetched anymore, does it? All those doubters, because this is from the official page itself. But moving on to Battletrap, who has my personal favorite picture here, where he looks really cool with his battle mask on. But an elite Terrorcon scout and enforcer, a machine custom made for mayhem. So he turns into a blood orange black GMC. His rear mounted crane also comes in handy for dragging the carcasses of his defeated enemies away. Menacing, unrelenting, and bloodthirsty, Battletrap takes great pride in being part of the most sinister and vile brigade of hunters to ever stalk the universe. As with the Terrorcons, Battletrap serves the forces of darkness, an inhuman evil far greater than even the Decepticons. Their mission is annihilation. Their methods are as nightmarish as their presence, and they are doggedly effective at what they do. Battletrap relishes in the viscera and fury of battle, eagerly carrying out the orders handed down to him by Scourge and dishing out punishments with glee. In the spirit of his considerable appetite for destruction, Battletrap's left fist is capable of unleashing an electrified flail, a huge ball on a chain designed for maximum carnage. And then finally, we have probably my second favorite picture, because we're getting a more HD-ish close shot of her face here. We got Nightbird, Terrorcon, and Ninja. Love to see that. And the ultimate assassin with an alarming aptitude for slaying her marks, a jet black Nissan Skyline GTR R33 with a suitably shadowy matte copper trim. Matt spelled wrong, but while the other Terrorcons are brutish and intimidating in their methods, what makes Nightbird such a genuinely chilling foe is her effortless expertise. Nightbird faithfully serves Scourge and exists only to execute her bloodthirsty team's terrible objectives with lethal power and purpose. While she is more measured than the Terrorcons' leader in her approach, she is every bit as dangerous in her execution. Armed with twin katanas and the ability to attack her victims in deadly silent strikes, Nightbird is an enemy you don't see coming until it's too late. You love to see that, and I hope she doesn't talk either, just like G1. But she fights with moves and perfect efficiency. This Terrorcon firmly believes that once the objective has been achieved, the battle is won. For her, anything else is a wasted effort. And there we have all of our Maximal and Terrorcon profiles. And man, I am pretty damn surprised that we got some pretty big reveals in these profiles themselves. Besides from just revealing more about the characters themselves, we may have learned even more about the plot of this movie. So we obviously know the Terrorcons have been around for a while. They've been serving Unicron for thousands of years. Unicron is trying to get this key so he can open a time portal space bridge. I mean, and we also find out that he's obviously possessing those in which are serving under him. So, I mean, this is getting me a little hyped, because I'm just chilling at work right now making this video, and it has connections to the theory that I've been propagating. Or, again, like I said, I'm not even 100% on the idea that the theory is true, that it connects to the bayverse, but this stuff here just adds even more to the idea that there could be a connection. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is going to be a lot of fun speculating on the coming days going forward, but I really want to know what you guys think about this. But until next time, likes, dislikes, anything is appreciated. And until next time, peace.